Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to take you on a journey that will touch your heart and open your mind. We are going to explore Iran, a land that has been home to humanity's greatest stories for over 3,000 years. This is not merely a trip to another country. It is a voyage into the very soul of history, a place where the past is not dead, but lives and breathes in the present. It is a land of poets, kings, saints, and scholars, whose contributions have shaped the world we live in today in ways we rarely even comprehend. We will walk together through the annals of time, uncovering the treasures of a civilization that has so much to teach us. Close your eyes for just a moment. Imagine yourself walking through the majestic ruins of ancient palaces, where powerful kings once ruled over vast empires that stretched across the known world. Picture the tranquil beauty of gardens so exquisite and serene they inspired the very idea of paradise itself. Think of the timeless words of poets whose verses continue to move people to tears of joy and contemplation centuries after they were first penned. This is the Iran we will discover together. Not just a nation on a map, but the vibrant, beating heart of human civilization, a testament to our shared capacity for greatness and beauty. This journey is an invitation to see beyond the headlines and fleeting political narratives. It is a chance to connect with a culture rich in warmth, hospitality, and profound wisdom. We will delve into stories that celebrate tolerance, justice, and the unrelenting human quest for meaning. From the world's first declaration of human rights to the spiritual poetry that has crossed every border and touched every faith, Iran's legacy is a shared inheritance for all of humankind. Prepare to be moved, to be inspired, and to see a side of this ancient land that is rarely shown but deeply felt by all who visit. Our exploration will be one of discovery, not just of historical facts and monuments, but of the emotions they evoke. We will feel the awe of standing where history was made, and the peace of wandering through gardens designed to be a slice of heaven on earth. We will listen to the echoes of prayers in magnificent mosques and feel the rhythm of life in bustling bazaars that have thrived for centuries. This is a story about the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring power of art, and the deep, unbreakable bonds that connect us all as one human family. The story of Iran is a grand tapestry woven with threads of conquest, faith, art, and philosophy. It is a narrative that begins deep in antiquity, more than 2,500 years ago, with the rise of a shepherd boy named Cyrus. According to legend, he was raised in humble circumstances, far from the halls of power. Yet destiny had chosen him for an extraordinary purpose. This young man would grow up to forge the Achaemenid Empire, the largest and most powerful empire the ancient world had ever witnessed. His story is not just one of military might, but of a revolutionary vision for humanity that would change the course of history forever. But what makes this ancient tale so profoundly special is not the scale of the conquest, but the character of the conqueror. Cyrus the Great did something that was almost unheard of in his time. When he entered the great city of Babylon, he did not bring destruction and terror as was the custom. Instead, he brought liberation. He freed the enslaved peoples and declared that they were at liberty to return to their homelands. He astonished the world by announcing that all people had the right to worship their own gods, a radical act of tolerance and respect for diversity. This revolutionary act was immortalized on a small clay cylinder, now known as the Cyrus cylinder. It is widely regarded as the world's first charter of human rights, a precious artifact that you can still see today in the British Museum. Imagine the sheer disbelief and relief on the faces of the people of Babylon. They had expected a tyrant, but instead they were met by a leader who spoke of freedom, dignity, and religious coexistence. Here was a conqueror who proclaimed, "Keep your traditions. Practice your religion. You are free." This was not just a military victory. It was the dawn of a new ideal. This spirit of tolerance and respect for human dignity became a cornerstone of the Persian identity. It laid a foundation for a civilization that would value wisdom, beauty, and justice above all else. This principle, born in the ancient world, would echo through the centuries, influencing countless cultures and thinkers. It is the first chapter in a long and beautiful story of how Iran became a cradle for some of humanity's most cherished ideals. As we continue our journey, we will see how this seed of tolerance blossomed in remarkable ways, shaping the nation's art, its spirituality, and its soul. The story of the Persian Empire is, at its heart, a story of visionary leadership and a profound rethinking of what it meant to rule. It begins with Cyrus the Great, a figure who transcended the typical role of an ancient monarch. He did not merely seek to expand his territory through brute force. He aimed to create a stable, multi-ethnic and multi-religious state where diverse peoples could coexist peacefully under a single just administration. This was a radical departure from the empires that preceded his, which were often built on fear, subjugation, and the eradication of local cultures. Cyrus understood that true strength came not from uniformity, but from a harmonious unity of different traditions, beliefs, and peoples. His empire, the Achaemenid Empire, became a grand experiment in governance. It was the first true superpower, stretching from the Balkans in Europe to the Indus Valley in India. To manage such a vast and diverse realm, Cyrus and his successors developed sophisticated systems of administration. They established a network of roads, like the famous Royal Road, which facilitated communication and trade across immense distances. They created a standardized postal service, the first of its kind, allowing messages to travel with unprecedented speed. This infrastructure was not just for the benefit of the rulers. It connected cultures, stimulated economies, and allowed for the flow of ideas, goods, and innovations across 3 continents. The philosophy of governance that Cyrus introduced was built on a foundation of respect. Instead of imposing Persian gods and customs on conquered lands, he actively supported local traditions. In Babylon, he famously ordered the rebuilding of temples, including the sacred Esagila shrine, and facilitated the return of the Jewish people from their exile, even helping to fund the reconstruction of their temple in Jerusalem. This policy of cultural and religious patronage was not just a clever political strategy. It was a deeply held belief that all people deserved to live with dignity and worship as they pleased. This created a sense of loyalty and stability that was the true secret to the empire's longevity and success. This revolutionary approach to empire building sent ripples throughout the ancient world. It established a new model for how a vast, multicultural society could be governed not through oppression, but through a shared sense of justice and mutual respect. The legacy of Cyrus is not just in the lands he conquered, but in the principles he championed, which we hold so dear today, found one of their earliest and most powerful expressions in the heart of ancient Persia. Following in the footsteps of Cyrus, his successors, such as Darius the Great, continued to build upon this foundation of enlightened rule. They understood that an empire so vast required more than just military garrisons and tax collectors. It needed a shared identity and a capital that could embody its magnificent ideals. For this purpose, they conceived and constructed one of the most breathtaking architectural marvels of the ancient world, Persepolis. Known to the Persians as Parsa, this was not just a city, it was a statement. It was a ceremonial capital designed to be a grand stage where the unity and diversity of the empire could be displayed for all the world to see and admire. Imagine the scene during the spring festival of Nowruz, the Persian New Year. Delegations from every corner of the empire, from Lydia and Egypt, from Ethiopia and India, from Bactria and Ionia, would journey to Persepolis. They would ascend the monumental double staircase, its steps deliberately wide and shallow so that nobles could climb them on horseback. As they entered the gate of all nations, guarded by colossal statues of human-headed winged bulls, they were not entering as conquered subjects paying homage in fear. The intricate relief carvings that adorn the walls of Persepolis depict these delegations bringing gifts, not as a tax, but as a respectful offering in a spirit of friendship and cooperation. The artistry of Persepolis is a testament to the empire's cosmopolitan nature. The towering columns, reaching 65 feet into the sky, were inspired by Egyptian designs, carved by Ionian Greek artisans and assembled by Babylonian laborers. Every detail, from the lotus flowers clutched by the stone gods to the intricate folds of their robes, was a fusion of artistic styles drawn from across the known world. The palace itself was a physical manifestation of the empire's core philosophy that the combined talents of all its peoples could create something far more glorious and beautiful than any single culture could achieve on its own. The sheer scale and ambition of the site are humbling, but what truly resonates is the spirit of peace and harmony etched into its very stones. There are no depictions of battles, no scenes of subjugation or violence. Instead, the art of Persepolis celebrates unity, order, and mutual respect. Let's step away from Persepolis and enter a Persian garden, a vision of paradise on earth. The word paradise itself comes from the Old Persian paradisa, meaning walled garden. Persian gardens were sanctuaries, designed with flowing water, lush trees, and a four-part layout symbolizing the elements and rivers of paradise. Every detail was intentional, creating a space for spiritual reflection and peace. Even today, places like Fin Garden and Aram Garden offer a tranquil escape, their beauty echoing ancient ideals. These gardens weren't just displays of wealth, they were retreats for poetry, contemplation, and harmony with nature. The Persian garden's legacy endures, reminding us that paradise can be created here and now. Now, witness a turning point, the meeting of Persia and Islam. In the 7th century, Islam emerged, calling for justice, compassion, and unity. Salman al-Farisi, a Persian seeker, found the Prophet Muhammad and was welcomed as family, proof of Islam's inclusivity. The Prophet's message was universal, not erasing cultures, but uniting hearts. When Islam reached Persia, it wasn't just conquest, it was a merging of values. Persians recognized familiar ideals in Islam: wisdom, justice, and devotion. The faith resonated deeply, not as an imposition, but as a homecoming. This encounter sparked a new era, blending Persian heritage with Islamic spirit. The result was not an ending, but a powerful new beginning. Persia's embrace of Islam would soon transform the world. The union of Persia and Islam ignited a golden age of knowledge and creativity. Persians became leading scholars, scientists, and poets, shaping Islamic civilization. Ibn Sina, Avicenna, revolutionized medicine. His works guided East and West for centuries. Imam al-Ghazali harmonized faith and spirituality, inspiring seekers across generations. Rumi's poetry, born of Persian mysticism, speaks to the soul's longing for the divine. These figures and many others blended Persian intellect with Islamic inspiration. Their legacy is a civilization renowned for wisdom, compassion, and beauty. The Persian heart made Islam blossom into something extraordinary. Now the story of Imam Hussein, a legacy of courage and sacrifice. As the Prophet's beloved grandson, Hussein faced a corrupt ruler demanding his allegiance. Refusing to legitimize tyranny, Hussein stood for truth, declaring, "I will never give my hand in humiliation." At Karbala, he and his small group endured thirst and loss, yet never surrendered their principles. Even as his loved ones fell, Hussein's resolve never wavered. His final prayer was one of submission to God, not defeat. Hussein's martyrdom became a timeless symbol, justice over oppression. His sacrifice echoes through history, inspiring all who seek truth. In Karbala, loss became eternal victory for the human spirit. Imam Hussein's story became the soul of Iran. His family found refuge in Persia, where the people embraced their cause as their own. Karbala became a living lesson, good versus evil, truth versus falsehood. Iranians built shrines and centers of learning, vowing never to forget Hussein. Every year, during Muharram, millions mourn and remember his sacrifice. These gatherings are acts of love and recommitment to justice and compassion. The story of Karbala shapes Iranian identity, nurturing empathy for the oppressed. It's a moral compass, teaching that true honor lies in sacrifice for higher ideals. In mourning Hussein, Iranians find strength, courage, and hope. His legacy inspires them to stand for truth always. Now, allow me to transport you to a city so grand, so beautiful that it inspired a famous Persian proverb, Isfahan Nesef-e-Jahan, which means Isfahan is half the world. When you stand in the center of its main square, Nakshi-Jahan, one of the largest and most majestic city squares on the planet, you finally understand why. You are completely surrounded by an unparalleled symphony of architectural masterpieces. You see the Imam Mosque, its towering minarets and grand dome, covered in a mosaic of blue tiles that seem to capture the very essence of the heavens. You see the delicate Sheikh Lutfullah Mosque, a private jewel box of a sanctuary where the dome's interior design resembles a peacock's tail. The palaces, like the Ali Kapu, whisper tales of Safavid kings who would sit on its grand balcony to watch polo matches in the square below, listening to music played by master musicians in a specially designed acoustic room. But the real, enduring beauty of Isfahan is not just in its glorious past, it is in its vibrant present. It is found in the simple, everyday moments of life that unfold in this historic setting. You can see an elderly artisan in the Grand Bazaar patiently hammering intricate designs onto a copper tray, a craft passed down through his family for generations. You witness the joy of children splashing in the fountains, their laughter echoing across the square. This profound cultural and artistic heritage did not remain confined within Iran's borders. It traveled across continents, most notably shaping one of the most celebrated empires in history, the Mughal Empire of India. This was not a relationship of conquest, but one of deep cultural love and admiration. The Taj Mahal, that ultimate monument to eternal love, is fundamentally a Persian poem written in shimmering white marble. Its creator, Shah Jahan, was deeply influenced by Persian culture. He employed Persian architects, laid out its grounds based on the Persian Chahar Bagh garden design, and had Persian calligraphers adorn its walls with verses from the Quran. The connection ran deep. Persian was the official language of the Mughal court. Their own poetry, their style of miniature painting, and their administrative systems were all heavily influenced by Persian models. Great scholars and artists from Iran would travel to India, while Indian thinkers would study in the great centers of learning in Isfahan and Shiraz. This beautiful exchange created a unique and splendid Indo-Persian culture that has left an indelible mark on the art, architecture, and soul of the Indian subcontinent. It is a powerful testament to how Iran's influence has always been a force for creating beauty and enriching other civilizations. As we bring this heartfelt journey to a close, my dear friends, I want you to hold on to a single powerful image. Imagine Iran not just as a country on a map, but as a vast, ancient, and ever-blooming garden. This is not merely a physical place of mountains and deserts, but a spiritual landscape, an eternal garden of the human soul. In this sacred ground grow flowers of every conceivable color and fragrance. You can see the pure white roses of ancient Persian wisdom, planted by Cyrus the Great, blooming with the eternal truths of justice and tolerance. Beside them, you find the deep red tulips of Islamic devotion, watered by the tears shed for Imam Hussein, symbolizing sacrifice and unwavering principle. Throughout this magnificent garden, you will also discover the golden marigolds of poetry, their light shining from the verses of Rumi and Hafiz, offering warmth and guidance to all who seek it. And woven between them all are the gentle, sky-blue forget-me-nots of hospitality, a testament to the innate kindness of the Iranian people who see a guest as a blessing sent by God. This garden is humanity's shared inheritance. This is precisely why Iran's story touches every heart, regardless of faith, nationality, or background. In our complex modern world, a world so often fractured by political disagreements, religious intolerance, and the corrosive power of fear, the story of Iran offers a powerful and necessary message of hope. It stands as a living testament to several crucial truths that we desperately need to remember. It shows us, through its long and rich history, that different cultures and faiths can come together in a beautiful confluence. This is the timeless message that emanates from the heart of this ancient land, a message that belongs to everyone. Thank you for taking this profound and moving journey with me. May the enduring beauty, the profound wisdom, and the deep abiding peace of Iran touch your heart today and remain with you as a source of inspiration for all the days of your life.